Welcome! This video has the information on the Leap Slam of Groundbreaking Chieftain build. Leap Slam of Groundbreaking is a slam attack with high damage but sluggish attack speed and short jump range. It would be a build like any other of that type if not for the inclusion of the movement skill gem tag, thus allowing us to take advantage of bronze lithe body armor. It not only increases the damage by up to 100%, but also increases the gem level of socketed movement skills by 5, which will significantly improve the effectiveness of added damage for the attack. You can even corrupt it for 2 or up to 3 additional gem levels for the Leap Slam. One of the options to build on it is to incorporate exertions and war cries into the build, as slam users usually do. Chieftain has a great passive for that, Psione, which increases the warcry buff effect by 30% and fixes their power to be always infinite. This encourages the usage of warcries with strong buffs. Another passives from this class will provide a 7th support gem, Fist of War, a lot of elemental resistances with ignite immunity, and high maximum elemental resistances pegged to maximum fire resistance so that you can reach 90% of all elemental resistances with minimal effort. The Leap Slam of Groundbreaking deals converted to fire physical damage with high crit chance. The two most important war cries that will benefit us are Infernal Cry, which grants physical damage as extra fire damage, and Battle Mage's Cry, which provides us with base critical strike chance. To make this build durable, you will need to invest in life regeneration and physical damage reduction. The life pool is high thanks to the Blood Magic Keystone, a lot of rare items, and an overabundance of life passives in the bottom left corner of the passive skill tree. Clear speed is good for a slam build. You can move and attack at once. Boss damage is also great if you remember to activate all your war cries. It does not use any particularly expensive items, but the high-end upgrades can be costly. The build is a fairly basic one, and it requires almost no unique items to work. We did, however, make Bronze Lithe mandatory, as taking advantage of the mobility of a skill is its unique selling point. If you want more damage, we recommend the Rational Doctrine, Leadership's Price, and Worship the Blightheart combo. The Fungal Ground, Profane Ground, Scorch, and Brittle work well in an elemental damage crit build. Abyssus is the softcore helmet. It grants tons of damage, but in turn causes you to take a lot more physical damage, which is a very bad thing. Bronze Lithe increases the gem level of socketed here Leap Slam to increase its effectiveness of added damage. Corrupting it may grant you another 2 levels, and double corrupting even 3, resulting in level 29 Leap Slam that deals almost 1000% of its original damage. Admiral's Arrogance Gloves are used to generate rage more efficiently. Rage can also be gained via Vengeful Cry or by spending more skill points on rage nodes, in which case you shall use rare gloves instead. Rislatha's Coil is a good substitute for a rare belt if your resistances are already high. It grants more physical damage, later converted to fire. With the Mace Mastery and Yoke of Suffering, you will inflict Ignite, Chill, and Shock, making this amulet a good choice. It even has resistances and some attributes, but lacks maximum life. Leadership's Price is a great pick for an elemental damage build that uses critical strikes, like this one. Sap, Scorch, and Brittle are much better than Ignite you would otherwise inflict with fire damage hits. Use tattoos to adjust your attributes and make it work. Polaric Devastation is used primarily to cover enemies in ash, which causes them to take increased fire damage, but it also has a lot of resistances and other useful boons. It only lacks maximum life. The Light of Meaning is a very efficient way to gain more damage if you have a reasonable amount of passives clustered around a jewel socket, which you do. Get a copy with increased physical or fire damage. We have used Intuitive Leap to allocate notables near stamina. Measured Fury would be otherwise a hassle to pick up as it's inconveniently placed and really out of our way. If you are wearing Leadership's Price with intelligence and strength balanced out, then you must also include Rational Doctrine. Consecrated Ground regenerates life and reduces the effect of curses on you. Profane Ground increases crit chance and the effect of your curses. Fungal Ground from Worship the Blightheart Anoint will grant you 25% chaos resistance and lower enemies' resistances by 10%. Marauder has a lot of excellent passives to borrow from its ascendancies. Flawless Savagery will suit this build a lot, but so will Warbringer, Crave the Slaughter, or Untiring. These forbidden jewels are often very expensive. Leap Slam deals physical damage that has to be converted to fire. 90% of conversion is gained from the skill tree, while the remaining 10% can be sourced from rare gloves or a ring. A weapon will be important. Use a two-handed one for more damage per hit. It's a critical strike build, but it's hard to reach 100% crit chance without using tinctures and expensive jewels, and that would alter the build in a way that we don't plan to cover in detail. A rare helmet should get you a lot of maximum life, armor, and resistances. It can also be a source of accuracy, intelligence, and life regeneration. For the Eldritch mods, you may want to roll for fire penetration or physical damage taken as elemental, and flammability curse effect. You can use any two-hand weapon type, but the Impact Force Propagator, which is a mace, may be the best option. It causes Warcries to exert 2 additional attacks. Look here only for high physical DPS with crit modifiers. Regular gloves will provide you with maximum life, elemental resistances, and dexterity. Accuracy, armor, life regeneration, attack speed, and chaos resistance are good too. For the Eldritch mod, seek attack speed or crit chance and 10% physical to fire conversion. Prioritize maximum life and resistances on your boots. Movement speed is not necessary if you're using only Leap Slam to move. For the Eldritch mods, get Warcry speed and action speed or chaos resistance. Use a rare belt for maximum life, resistances, and increased elemental damage with attack. We heavily recommend getting some chaos resistance and life regeneration here as well. Rare amulet is good if you need resistances and attributes, but in almost any case a unique one would be a more suitable option. Rings are a source of maximum life, resistances, and attributes. If you cannot get the remaining 10% conversion from rare gloves, it can be found here too as a rare delve prefix. Maximum life with critical strike modifiers are great on jewels. Remember that your maximum cold and lightning resistances are elevated alongside maximum fire resistance, which can be found here. You should be able to fix your attributes and resistances with gear pieces. One large mace and staff cluster jewel with the Overlord notable to fortify yourself is needed. Martial prowess with Calamitous or Feed the Fury are your other best options. Medium cluster jewels specialized in exerted attacks can be very potent. Look for the listed here notables on them. Lead by example is the most important one. It grants onslaught. Besides Life Flask that stops bleeding, we recommend Granite, Diamond, Ruby, and Basalt, or Quicksilver flasks. Their suffixes shall increase your armor, crit chance, and reduce the effect of curses on you. If you've allocated Blood-Soaked Blade, or if you're not using blood magic, you may use a tincture too. Prismatic or Rosethorn tincture with elemental penetration will be optimal. Leap Slam of Groundbreaking. It's just like the regular Leap Slam, but with damage comparable to standard slam attacks, although its range and attack speed are inferior to its non-transfigured counterpart. Link it with overexertion, melee physical damage, pulverize, fire penetration, and faster attack support gems. We've found faster attacks a great solution to the otherwise mediocre clear speed, as with it you move faster. Still, if you're up against pinnacle bosses, we recommend replacing it with elemental damage with attacks, or increased critical damage, if your crit chance is over 80%. Infernal Cry, the buff grants physical damage as extra fire damage, which is great in this physical to fire build. The exertion causes enemies to combust on death. Seismic Cry knocks enemies back, grants you armor, and increases your stun threshold. The exertion grants 50% more area of effect for attacks. Intimidating Cry grants movement speed and causes your exerted attacks to deal double damage. Enduring Cry generates endurance charges and regenerates life. Use it only when needed, it doesn't exert attacks. Link these war cries with urgent orders and more duration support gems to cast them faster and make them last longer. Battle Mage's Cry will trigger linked spells with its exertions. The buff also increases your base critical strike chance, which the build takes advantage of. Firestorm is used to apply combustion. You can use any other fire spell for that, but remember it has to have a good chance of igniting the enemy, so it better be something with a wide area and multiple hits per cast. Flammability provides an additional 25% chance to ignite, and more importantly, lowers the fire resistance of the affected enemy. Put combustion support here too. Skills in this automation setup will be triggered automatically. Molten Shell will absorb some of the incoming hit damage before expiring or exploding. Phase Run increases movement speed with phasing that turns into more melee damage if you use a skill. It consumes frenzy charges to make itself last longer. Blood Rage, more attack speed, additional life leech, and frenzy charges on kill. We've linked it to automation for convenience, but you may as well replace it with Berserk if that suits you better. Determination grants more and increased armor, one of the most important defensive layers. You have only one aura due to blood magic, so you may as well have it off charge with Eternal Blessing support. Berserk drains all your rage at an accelerating rate but increases its effect. Most likely you will need the additional accuracy and crit chance from Precision. It won't reserve a lot of life. Kill all the bandits. That should be the best solution to the bandit quest. Soul of the Brine King is a good candidate for a major god. However, if stuns are not that big of a problem, and you are freeze immune already, pick Solaris or Lunaris instead. Soul of Garakan reduces the effect of shock on you by 60%, and that's what we've chosen. But almost any other minor god has its own merits. On the passive skill tree, we've picked up maximum life, fire damage, Warcry related nodes, some critical strike chance, damage with maces, especially that of the elemental type, some accuracy, and nomadic teachings. Your keystones are Unwavering Stance, Iron Reflexes, Avatar of Fire, and Blood Magic. Your masteries are Crit Mastery for crit damage, Elemental Mastery for better elemental exposure, Accuracy Mastery for more accuracy, Fire Mastery for fire conversion, Life Mastery for increased life. If there's no life mod on your body armor, Warcry Mastery for life recovery, and Rage Mastery that causes Warcry to generate rage. That is all there is to it. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.